Right then, hello. Welcome to part 3 of the Kell Legend series. I'm not in the bivvy, everything's not set up, just for a reason. I've just had a fish within a minute of getting here, and I'll explain it all in the fish, but sweet, have a look at that and then I'll talk to you a bit more later. Right then, so here he is. You'll notice there's no pod set up. My bed chair's not inside the bivvy. I haven't even got a cart rod set up. What happened was I got down here, just finished carrying all the gear, and I got out my, here it is, little 10-foot float rod from TF Gear, Drennan little match reel and 7-pound mono, and spotted a big common sorting away in the margin, just down by my feet. I crept up behind a reed bed towards him, and it's clear he didn't see me. I dropped it on him once, and he looked at it and swam away. He did a circle and came back, and I dropped it on him again, and he sucked it in. And suddenly I'm fighting a 24-pound 4-ounce common on a 10-foot match rod and 7-pound line, but thankfully I managed to land him. 24-4 within, I don't know, 6 minutes of being down here on Kell. He was just like sitting there again. That's what they do with big fish, they just sit there and make you do the work. Right then, 24 pounds and 4-ounce common within 6 minutes. I might not catch another fish this session, but seriously, this is awesome. Right, let's get a few pictures and get it back, because it is hot. I'll explain more in a minute. I'll get it quite far, I'll come out quickly than that. Okay, everything's finally calmed down a little. Both rods are out. Right hand rod's on the normal spot on the chickpea and corn, and the left hand rod is it's normally under that tree there, but just at the moment it's down right down in that margin, because I've seen a few. If Leo stopped turning his cooker on and off like a nutter, because I've seen a few mud swirls coming up there. I think there might be a few fish feeding down on the silt there. But yeah, I'm hopeful of a fish on the bottom. I still can't quite believe that earlier one. I'm not sure Leo can either. It was a bit of a shock to us both. But yeah, bivvy's up, everything's set up. Might have some lunch in a minute. It's coming up towards 3:30. I haven't had any lunch. 28 past. 28 past, what a call that was. I'll talk to you about boilies in a minute as well, because I've had a change with the boilies this week. We're still on the salami, although we got the worm on order from Liquid Bait. But something I realised was that we tend to get more bites on the boilies towards the end of the session, and maybe, well, there's two reasons for that. One is that the fish in here, well, obviously they're going to be spooky of a new bait source. They're cute fish, apart from, you know, a few, and that's why, you know, perhaps they shy away from new bait for the first 24 hours or so, wait for it to wash out a little. So what I've done is I've reproduced. I had to make some more salami baked boilies, and all in one size, the 16mm, and I've done half a kilo on normal concentration and half a kilo on exactly half the concentration, and that's what I've got the left hand rod on. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pre-baiting with the double concentration, or the normal as we had before, and letting them be washed out, and then any impact rod like this rod I'm using under the tree here, or anything I see showing fish, I'll go with the less flavoured bait, and it will perhaps, hopefully, have less suspicion than a bait that's oozing flavour. That's the plan anyway. I've also been washing out the baits I've been throwing out, but that's just another idea. I want to don't want to go stale on here with the tactics. I want to keep chopping and changing, keep these fish guessing. So yeah, I'm going to cook some lunch, and let's hope one of the 4 rods we've got roars off at some point, and we're into another fantastic Kell carp. Sausage bagel. What a suspicious looking gem. Right then, it's going up towards the evening now. We actually haven't even been there that long. We got there late today for various reasons. Probably rods were out by about 3 o'clock. Was that fish? No, the fish I had was probably about 2. Rods were set out about 3, and since then we've eaten lunch and stuff. It's coming up to about 5:30, and everything's really quiet, to be honest. I had a couple of knocks with my right hand rod. I think it's just fish moseying about into the line. They've all been cruising. So the left hand rod is back out under its normal spot. Under there. I mean, look at the fantastic colours on the water. It's the first time I've struggled to see my PVA rig nugget from here because of all these leaves on the water. The summer colours are starting to change to the oranges, reds and browns of autumn, and it really is. It's the first week I've really noticed it, especially walking around the lake. Also baited up with corn, chickpea and boilies in this margin over here, right in the corner. So, might drop the rod on that tomorrow morning. Leo's spot, I had an idea it'd be quite cool to put out a load of bait on the marginal shelf overnight, because since we've been on this Kell campaign we've had a few incidents where we've put out bait over marginal shelves, and it's been gone either in the morning or the next week, and it could be ducks or it could be fish, and so he's got a rod on the shelf tonight, and we're going to see whether the bait goes overnight. So yeah, it's back to the waiting game. I've got a few ideas. I don't want to sit here if we're not catching on the bottom, but we haven't really given it a lot of time, and there is the heroic little piece of... We're not even going to be in focus, it's so small. Can I? No, I mean, it's not going to have it, but there it is. It's a piece of plastic corn and a bit of white Gardner Zig foam on a size 8 fox armour, and that's what tripped up the 24 this morning. Well, this afternoon. It was actually at 2 o'clock. Yeah, it's nice and quiet down here though. Everyone's gone except there's a nice Scottish guy over in that tent on the far side. Went round and had a chat about my left hand rod just to tell him that it was about halfway, and he said that's fine, he's fishing margins. And then Bobby's up the other end of the lake, a member, and he's fishing on the pole at the moment. I don't know if he's after the carp, but I'll go and speak to him later. So yeah, should be good this evening though. Classic Wylands, there's cows and horses in the field next door. There's bird song every minute and a half, and really is proper close to nature, especially on the Kell Lake down here. It's away from everything. Up there is behind these trees, Kell Wood, and behind Kell Wood is New Specie, so that gives you an idea of where we are on the complex. Sort of New Specie is over there, Old Specie is over there, and sort of over there is, you know, the house, lake and reception and everything. But you're very secluded from the rest of the world, and I think I can hear Leo throwing out his marginal sweet corn at the moment. I still can't believe little Drennan fixed ball match reel, TF gear 10-foot float rod and 7-pound line, a 24-pounder. That was a bit of a turn off the books, wasn't it? Right then, I'm going to put the radio on, have some supper in a bit. Don't know what I've got for supper. I had some sausages for lunch. Might have some Uncle Ben's Mexican style rice. It's always nice. I've got a few other bits and bobs about as well. Oh, I've just spotted this in my carry-all. Forgot about that. Tesco Everyday Value rice pudding. And we went to Jempson's and looked in the bargain area before we came. We always do. And I found a massive chocolate pudding. I mean, it's literally could feed 6 people, and it for 90p. Because it's going out of date today, so I'll have that as well. So I'm going to be not a hungry fellow tonight. Not a cold fellow either, 12, 13 degrees. We're very, very mild. And hopefully I'll be well fed, warm and catching carp. That'd be nice. Right then, it's coming up to evening time. You're going to struggle to see this. You're going to struggle to hear me really with that German bacon going on behind me.
Well, the bacon's actually Dutch.
The bacon is Dutch, however the proprietor is German. And yeah, it's coming up to, I think it's just gone about 7 o'clock. 18 past 7. Leo added to his Kell collection earlier. If you want to see that, go and have a look at his blog. It'll be up in the coming days after this one. I've got supper on, which is some nice Uncle Ben's rice. As Leo pointed out, it's not the most glamorous thing in my food array for the week. However, sometimes I guess you just want a bit of comfort food. So I've got some nice Mexican style rice in there. It's going to be a misty night tonight. They've already started having condensation on the rods and on the bivvy and on the scales actually. I'm just looking now. That's good news though. It means we're going to have some real nice low pressure coming in tonight. And low pressure tends to head to carp feeding, so feeding on the bottom anyway, so let's hope. Good signs all around, and as I said earlier, even if I'm not catching carp, I'm going to be well fed and well warm tonight, so I'm happy. Right then, let's get this eaten, and I'll give you a little shot of the happy German and his bacon. He loves a bit of bacon. Right then, I'll see you in a bit. Right then, morning all. As you'll see, it's a misty old morning out there. It's about 7:30 now. I was awake at about 6:30 as first light came, but I thought I'd give myself another hour. Really is looking beautiful out there. Look at that spider's web there. It was shaky, it's a bit cold, but no fish in the night. I had a few liners, which I haven't really had much of before. I'm thinking about whether it's fish getting away with it, but from the nature of the liners, I don't think it is, because the liners when you tend to be very slow and the bobbing goes up a little and then down slowly back to where it rests. So I don't think the lead's moving. I really think it's just fish swimming into the line. But I got that on both rods in the middle of the night. So yeah, it should hopefully have some more fish later today. I just realised you can't really see out. There you are. Hopefully we'll pick some more up later today, but I got a good night's sleep and I was happy, so there we are. Let's just hope one of those roars off before breakfast. Just seen a big fish crash over the right hand rod, so we'll see. We'll see. Right then, so the mist still hasn't entirely burnt off the lake. Mostly it has though. It's coming up to about, must be 10:30, 11 now. Yeah, it's been quiet this morning. The bottom rods are still out. I'm on a controller at the moment. There's a fish, and my controller is there. Surely, where? I've lost it. Oh, it's somewhere in the water. Yeah, it's just quiet at the moment. I've got a few ideas for the night, such as I'm going to be fishing this margin here instead of over there. And I'll be fishing right down off my rod tips on the other rod. And hopefully that'll make a difference. But for now I'm just chilling out, having a go with the controller. Worked yesterday. Well, I didn't have a controller yesterday, but it's the same hook bait, which means I can get more distance. And yeah, let's see. And see if we can't pick up a fish this morning. There's Leo having a drink. It's hot over there, that's one of the reasons I'm over here. Nice and shady. Right then, let's have a go. See if we can't get one. And if not, I'm going to come up with some plans for tonight. Right then, it's later in the afternoon. Still blue as you like sky, not the ideal conditions that we'd like. The fish haven't really got themselves on the feed, and I haven't really been able to tempt one on the top either. Guy had a bit of success early, had an 18 pounder off the top from, well, way down that bank, which was nice to see, but they've just been so finicky, they're not really interested at all. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just getting my ideas ready for the night. Basically what happened in the night is I got a load of liners, and they weren't liners like stop-start liners and aggressive liners, like the bait had been picked up and thrown out by the cart, rejected. They were like sort of 5 single beeps in a row, and having had these alarms over 2 years, I know that is a fish swimming into the line. Nowhere near the baited area, I mean just swimming into the line in mid-water. Which, one, makes me think the fish can't see the line, which is good, which I already knew, but it's sort of confirming that, which is nice. And 2, it means the fish are patrolling this margin in the night. So tonight I'm having, well, I'll get up and show you. So this right hand rod, which is currently out sort of in mid-water, where I had the 25 and the 35, see another carp buggering off over there, is going to go, well, you can see, I'll get down here. Okay, you see, this is the sort of area here where the water should go up to. You can see, like, you know, it should go all the way up there. It's properly low. But this rod's going to go down under those things there. You see, it's quite, I don't know if you'll be able to see in the water here, but I'll get it on the underwater camera. It's quite a steep drop off. So that's going to go about 3 foot out. And then the other rod is going to go along in this margin here, probably somewhere by the outlet there. And hopefully we can pick up a fish tonight, now that I've learnt what they're going to do. The thing I've been worried about is that starting a new spot like that, these fish don't tend to take kindly to new bait sources going in. They'll leave it a bit before they start eating it. So firstly, I've been baiting those spots the last couple of days, so hopefully the fish have got their confidence up. And secondly, what I'm doing at the moment over here in the little communal shady spot, I've got here a bucket of boilies which I'm washing out at the moment. I quickly should get you, I'll get a so those are the normal ones, see how dark they are, and then these have only been washing out about 10 minutes, so I'm going to leave them another sort of half an hour or so. That's what we're looking for, so that hopefully the carp will think that the baits have been there a little while and the angler's moved off and there's no danger in them anymore. That's the idea anyway. Right then, let's get these rods rebaited, sorted out for the night. I want to get them out. I don't want to get them out until 6ish, because I don't want the spots to be, I want the spots to be clean and the fish to be able to mosey in and out of them and not feel like there's any lines in the water. But I want it in ready for the time that the fish start patrolling the margins. So about between 6 and 7 o'clock the fish will come off the rods will come off their spots as they are at the moment and go into their marginal spots. Nothing on an alarm so far, and we're well over halfway into this session. We're leaving tomorrow fairly early because I've got work and Mia has to get home. So we basically just got the evening and the night now, and early morning. So yeah, let's start baiting up with those, and hopefully we'll be able to maybe trip up one more fish this session each. That'd be lovely. Right then viewers, I'm wandering out to the spot, which is all of about 6 foot, to have a poke around with a stick, see the depth, see what the bottom's like, remove any light looking obstacles, and well, put some bait out. So there we are. It's going to be a long journey, it's mostly about 4 steps. Nice underwear. Thank you. It's just the way it is for Christmas. Really? Absolutely beautiful. Is it cold?
Yeah.
Is it deep?
Genuine real life tip. If you're going to do this, take a stick, because then you can actually feel where you're going, and if there's not a sort of 20-foot drop off, you can
20 foot. I'm not sure that's going to happen in this lake.
I've heard it happen. And then you go down.
Of course. Hello.
Oh yeah.
You're right.
Did I ask?
Just stirring up the bottom, putting some bait out.
Enough. Oh.
Smooth.
A few rocks about, nothing major. How deep's that?
About 3 foot.
That'll do. Right, pass me the bait, please.
Where's the bait?
Well, there's some sweet corn chickpeas behind you, and the boilies are in the bucket. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get them to you.
So I'm not wading in.
I'll come back. That's good. Cheers.
Probably. Genius.
It's genius.
Right then, so the rods are out. Oh, hello. Throwing ketchup on the floor. Right hand rod went out nicely while I was standing in the lake there. Left hand rod's gone out down in the margin. I'm playing a rather boring game of hide and seek with a pair of ducks who insist on diving for boilies. I think they've only got one boilie so far, because every time they swim over I walk 10 yards and they run away again. Here they come again. And the poor sods are expelling so much energy coming over here, only to swim all the way back again when I tell them off, so let's go and stop them. Bogies. Stupid ducks. Oh, condensation's getting the lens again. I'm a little scared that the second it's too dark to actually see them, they'll just go and mop it all up, but I don't know. I haven't. Do they dive in the night? Have you heard them doing that?
I've been asleep mostly.
Well, so have I. That's the issue. Oh, I wonder.
YOLO.
Well, they're certainly not. I know from them eating other people's bait, they're a persistent bunch, so they're not going to be going away just yet. Right then, I'm in bed. Don't know what makes the funny noise on this camera. when it's dark and cold, it sort of starts knocking. Probably able to hear it now. It's really annoying. Anyway, I'm in bed. It's about, I don't know, must be 10 o'clock now, maybe slightly later. And a knock on the right hand rod, which is exciting. That's the one that was right down the margin. You saw me wandering about there. So we'll see. Just finishing the last few chapters of Chris Yates. I'm on chapter 20, I think. Must have read this book 3 times, but it's really fantastic. It's a funny noise. Could be, I don't know, Leo throwing something on the floor, who knows. Anyway, I do recommend that. Now then, is Leo doing something funny? I wonder what. Right then, I'm going to get myself into sleep. I've had my cup of tea. And yeah, I think it's bedtime. I'll see you if I catch a fish. Right then, morning all. Just had my first cup of coffee, so I'm feeling a bit better. All the apple pies are gone too. It's about 8:30, been up since 8. I've got a bit of a screamer on the left hand rod at 8 o'clock this morning, because some ducks were the same ducks as last night. Managed to sneak over there this morning when I wasn't looking, and I couldn't be bothered to chase them off. Because I think if a fish hasn't picked up either of the margin baits from, you know, when they went out at 5 o'clock last night till 8 o'clock in the morning now, it's not going to happen over the next couple of hours. So I'm going to put the rods back onto their daytime spots, and we'll, I guess, we've always got a chance when you're fishing and picking up a fish, but I can't say my confidence is especially high. I'm going to go home, think about why. Sometimes it takes a few days to get a rational thought as to why it hasn't gone as well as it has before. Turn off the radio quickly. So yeah, I do wonder. Maybe it was that I said when I caught that 24, I said it could be the only fish I catch this session. Perhaps that jinxed it into being the only fish I catch this session. But yeah, this is, as I've said before, it's not a runs water. In fact, it's the opposite of a runs water. It's the Specie Lake, and I think, you know, especially myself, it's very easy to get disillusioned by 2, you know, very good sessions to start off the series. Was 3 fish in 24 hours, which is unheard of for this lake. Then 3 fish in 48, which is still a cracking result. And obviously with the big one and a 25 in that, and now to come on a 48, and I mean I'm complaining I've caught a 24 pounder. I mean that's what we've been set up for here really by the last 2 sessions. But this was always going to happen at some stage. The lake was always going to slow down, and it's this session, and I'm glad I managed to, you know, to did that bit of opportunist fishing at the start and snuck one out the margin, because if I hadn't done that, it could have easily been my first blank. Well, we've got until 11 o'clock. We decided rods in 11:30, so what's that? 3 hours from now. So in about half an hour, when the mist has sufficiently burnt off for me to get out of bed, I will get up and I'll put the old rods back on the daytime spots and see if we can't sneak a fish off them. And then as I said, I'll go home and have a think. Anyway, camera's already getting misted up just from looking out the bivvy for a minute. I really bloody hate these daddy long legs things. They're everywhere. It's not so bad when it's just, you know, well, the mist means you won't be able to even see it, but it's not so bad when it's just, there it is. When it's just them in the daytime like this, but in the night when you're trying to read and they're all flying at your face like kamikaze daddy long legs, is awful. I've been on killing sprees, it doesn't work, more of them come back, so in the end I think it's better to just live and let live. Anyway, alright, I'm going to put the radio back on and maybe recast in about 20 minutes or so. Right then, it's all over. Last 3 hours didn't produce anything, despite I had a screaming run, but I think I'll wait till next time to tell you about that. Next week I think I've got a week of holiday, so I think I might be doing, might be doing Monday to Friday, which would be nice. I've had a few ideas for that session, so yeah, just the one fish. I think I may have jinxed it when I said this might be the only fish I catch at the beginning. But I'll leave you with a shot of those middlesome ducks. Where are they? There they are, chilling over on the far bank. Right then, thanks for watching, and look out for part 4, which will hopefully have some more big Kell.